Remember the smart hashtag 5 we saw at the Malaysia Auto Show? Well, it's one step closer to launch, and today we get our first look at the right-hand drive version of which for our market, and there's two versions of which. I've got the premium right next to me, and later on I'll show you the range-topping Brabus version. But for now, let's get to know the smart hashtag 5 premium a little better. My name is Tariq Azmi and this is Caricarz.com. Okay, seasoned readers would know by now that the smart hashtag 5 shares the same bones and underpinnings as the hashtag 1 and hashtag 3, but obviously, as you can see, this is a lot different because it is much larger and a lot more rugged, a lot more capable according to Smart 2, and I like the way it looks, especially in premium variant. As you can see, from far you can tell this is the hashtag 5 because of the very distinct bumper design and the very distinct full LED headlights and LED DRL arrangement. Okay, down the side profile and with the premium especially, you get to see that this is a very lifted SUV. In fact, there's 197 millimeters of ground clearance, with Smart claiming that the hashtag 5 can weigh up to 500 millimeters of water. But otherwise, I love how much simpler and cleaner the side profile of this premium variant looks, and adding to which are the very distinct 20-inch alloy wheels that is specific to this premium variants. But before I forget, down the side profile, you'll also find some typical design touches that Smart is renowned for, like the flush door handles and, my favorite bit, the illuminated Smart emblem in the D pillar. So we're still with the hashtag 5 premium, and at the rear end, as you can see, it mirrors the front end with its rear taillight design, whereby you get this full width, full LED light bar connecting both sides of the taillights, and you even get the oblong insert motif in here. But my favorite part here is how they've hidden a lot of the clever features, like where the rear facing camera is. It's actually right here up top in the roof, and where the boot release button is for the power tailgate, which is right here in the A. Well, before I forget, for some of you eagle-eyed viewers, you'll also notice that the rear bumper of the hashtag 5 Premium features a much more smoother, more elegant, more refined design, just like what you'll find up front. Also, before I forget, that powered tailgate function I showed you earlier comes with a kick sensor to grant easier access to this really massive boot space. In terms of size, Smart says the hashtag 5 can offer up to 1,360 liters of space with the rear seats folded down. Very quickly, talking about practicality, besides the massive maximum boot space I mentioned earlier, the Smart hashtag 5 Premium specifically also offers a massive 72-liter frunk. Okay, let's talk powertrain and battery, and typical of Smart, this premium variant of the hashtag 5 features a single rear-mounted e-motor powering the rear wheels, providing up to 353 horsepower and 373 Newton meters of torque. Very sufficient indeed if you ask me. And it is juiced by a relatively sizable 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, which accepts, wait, let's check that out. It's a powered charging flat. Very cool. So as I mentioned, the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack earlier accepts up to 22 kilowatts AC and 4C DCFC fast charging inputs. The latter grants 10 to 80% charges in just 20 minutes. Now, in terms of maximum range, this variant of the Smart hashtag 5 promises to cover up to 590 kilometers on the WLTP standard. Okay, we're going into the interior of the Smart hashtag 5 Premium now, and before I show you some of the very nice toys, let me cover one very core basic. This is, as I mentioned, the largest model from the Smart brand ever, and as a result, it offers very generous cabin space, especially for rear seat passengers. And there's some bonuses here. Besides rear aircon vents and rear charging ports, you will also notice that the rear seats are power adjustable with their own Boss switches. So this is very nice, very comfortable. And in the case of this premium variant, it comes wrapped in some very plush brown leather. And just to add to that luxury ambience, you also find actual wood trim in the dash and door panels. Okay, whilst here, I only have one piece of bad news. This very fine looking brown leather is not coming to our market, sadly. We're going to get black leather instead, but I think that's not bad news entirely. Now let's move up front and let me give you some of the key technological highlights of the Smart hashtag 5. Okay, straight into the hot seat of the Smart hashtag 5 Premium, and you will notice there's a lot of screens. In fact, there's 3 of which, but let me cover that in a bit. Before that, for drivers, you will get treated with a 10.3-inch digital meter panel plus a full color augmented reality heads-up display. But really, the real party trick here is for the passenger, because as you can see in the dash, there's a pair, yes, 2 massive 13-inch OLED touchscreens in the dash, and they are powered by an extremely powerful AMD Ryzen chipset. This is one of the most powerful infotainment systems we've seen to enter in any car to date, and I think this is very, very cool. But that's not all. For me, as an audiophile, I'm very excited to tell you that the Smart Hashtag 5 is the first production car to feature audio system from Sennheiser. In fact, Sennheiser have decked out the Smart Hashtag 5 with a 20 speaker system, and it sounds fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Apart from that, well, you get the usual niceties like wireless charging pad, keyless entry and ignition, plus multi-zone automatic climate control, and a whole lot more. Last but not least, typical of any premium Chinese EV today, the Smart Hashtag 5 also promised to deliver a barrage of ADAS features that promise high degree of semi-autonomous driving. Alright, from the Hashtag 5 Premium, we now move to the performance flavored range topper, which is the Hashtag 5 Brabus. And as you can see, the treatment here is very similar as what we've seen in the Hashtag 1 and Hashtag 3 Brabus models. You will notice that the Hashtag 5 Brabus rocks a much angrier looking front bumper, very sporty, very aggressive, plus it gets the typical red highlight. That's also a signature of Brabus. Apart from which, you will notice that it still rocks the same full LED forward headlight with the oblong insert motif with a full width LED light bar up front. Okay, down the side profile of the Hashtag 5 Brabus, as you can see, the treatment is also very typical of the Brabus. The nameplate is very sporty, very angry, and you will notice it also features quite a number of these gloss black touches all around here. But really, the highlight of the side profile with the Brabus variant is this 21-inch monoblock wheels. And I was informed by Smart that these wheels alone in the Brabus catalogue cost about 40,000 ringgit. Of course, we're going to wrap up the exterior walk around of the Smart Hashtag 5 Brabus with its derriere, and for me, I will agree that at this angle, the Hashtag 5 in Brabus flavor really, really looks good. It's very angry, very sporty, very aggressive. Note the very, very unique and distinct sporty rear bumper design featuring that typical red highlight Brabus is known for. Otherwise, you will also see the same thing we saw in the Premium, by which I mean the full width LED tail light with the full width light bar connecting the left and right side, plus the oblong shaped inserts. And well, this is the Brabus version. Before I forget, just note that it also comes with some very tasty blacked out smart emblems. Okay, let's talk powertrain. And while the Hashtag 5 Brabus shares the same 100 kilowatt hour battery pack as the Hashtag 5 Premium, it differs from the Premium by having a dual motor all-wheel drive setup that outputs way higher numbers, 637 horsepower and 710 Newton meters to be precise, all of which enables this bad boy to dispatch 0 to 100 km/h sprints in just 3.8 seconds. Now, the price of this added power and speed does come at the price of range. So this one will do up to about 540 kmw LTP, but that's not too bad if you ask me. The good news here is that with charging, just like the Hashtag 5 Premium, it still accepts up to 22 kilowatt AC and up to 4C DC FC that enables 10 to 80% charge in just 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to wrap our walk around of the Smart Hashtag 5 Brabus with its cabin. As you can see, it's more or less the same as what we saw in the Premium variant, but with a sportier twist. Note the red coloured seat belt, the red pipe stitching motif in the seats, which are wrapped in both leather and Alcantara, and note the Brabus headrest emblems. Very nice, very sporty. Now, just to add to the sporty touch here, you will also notice that instead of wood veneer trims, you'll find that this variant has carbon fiber trims in the dash and door panels. Very nice, very sporty. Otherwise, the amounts and level of tech here is similar as what we saw in the Premium, meaning this is one very, very advanced and very, very posh car. And I think it's going to be the one to have if you want a sportier touch to things. And that's just some of the key highlights of the upcoming new Smart Hashtag 5 Premium and Hashtag 5 Brabus. I've been told by Pronet that they will launch this Hashtag 5 sometime in October. No price yet, since this is a preview, but expect it to cost a bit more than the Hashtag 3. In the meantime, I want to know which of these two flavors of the Hashtag 5 is your favorite, folks. So hit the comments below with your thoughts. While you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and find out more about the Hashtag 5 at caricarz.com/news.